All right, we got one last speaker before lunch, and you guys are in for a real treat, man. If you have not had an opportunity to meet this next individual, if you haven't had an opportunity to hear him speak, I guarantee you are going to be impressed and surprised. This is another one of the gentlemen that I met a couple of years ago in Springfield, and it immediately was just blown away at the level of confidence, the level of knowledge, the level of intelligence, how articulate he was. And I've had the chance to see him grow over those 2 years to the person that he is today, which is amazing how fast he's grown. But he runs a huge organization out of Idaho, Camas Prairie Insurance, selling by phone. Guy writes at least 50 apps a month on his own pen, has a team that is absolutely killing it. He's going to come up here and pour into you guys and really help elevate your mindset. Please give me a warm welcome for Mr. Joshua Lustig.
All right, good morning, good morning. Can everybody hear me okay? All right. Okay, I'm going to change things up a little bit. I'm going to talk about a subject today about the marketing side. So I know we've learned a lot this morning about different things. My job is to come up here and to give you something in the weeds that you can write some action items down. Who likes action items at stuff like this? All right, you're all my people. All those people that are turbo tinkling out there in the restroom are going to miss out, so they better hustle up. All right, so today I want to talk about the marketing side. So we're in this business, and we're here to decide how can we get people to do business with us. Really, that's the crux of the whole thing. How do we get people that are interested in what we are selling to buy it from us? So I'm going to talk about how do we convert what we call leads into appointments. I also love the subject of sales training. After you have appointments, how the heck do you get them to sign up? But that's not for today, so we'll do that a different day. So I have some ideas, and I got to go a little bit quickly because we're a little bit crunched for time this morning. We have so much great content this morning. So if you want to take a picture, you sure can. These are just some of my ideas. Marketing assets to promote. What do I mean by when I say a marketing asset? What do I mean by that? Or a lead magnet? I want to talk about how do we get people to actually give us their contact information in exchange for something that they see as valuable. Okay? So I want you to write something on your page right now. Say, what can I provide of value? What can I provide of value? That's extremely important. Even better is if you say, what can I provide that they see as valuable? I run into this a lot, you guys. I talk to a lot of agents in the course of my 25 years so far. And when I talk to people, a lot of times I find out that what the agent thinks is valuable is not in the eyes of the client. We got to remember who we're trying to talk to. Meet them where they are at. For an example, drug plans, nobody likes to talk about them. Not even prospects like to talk about drug plans. Now, they might see the value in drug coverage, but they don't like to talk about the subject and the finer details and ins and outs of all the stages. And so seemingly in a webinar presentation or a seminar presentation, seemingly that seems like a really good topic to talk about a long time and to double down on. They don't care. They care how it affects them, but they don't care about the 15-minute dissertation on it. And so we got to constantly be thinking when we're looking at how do we find a marketing program that resonates with the client, we got to think about what's in their brain and what do they want to learn about. So here's some ideas, some ways that we can get contact information in exchange for giving the client something in return. Webinars. Anybody that knows me, who knows that I do webinars? Okay, now raise your hand if you do webinars. Okay, in-person seminars. All right. YouTube channel. Anybody have a YouTube channel that they pump out content to? Yeah, Justin Thomas, that's you. VSL, more like an instant access video. Not like a webinar, but more like an instant access video. Nick, you? All right. Checklist. This is an idea. You can give them a 5 steps to X, right? Here are the 5 things you have to do. Here's a roadmap. Here's what you're doing. Updated rate sheet for the state of, I guess, Utah, so we can all invade Christian Brindle's space, right? These are ideas on how you can promote your services. Free quote, free consultation, a book funnel, I know Justin Brock has a book that you can white label nowadays, which I have done and I strongly recommend. Compare plans in your area, right? These are all things that you can promote. Now the thing is, okay, Josh, let's say we have a webinar. Where do we get the leads? Where do I get people to actually look at that? Where do I promote the actual asset, the lead magnet itself? Let's talk about that next. Lead sources. Where are the people's eyeballs? Right? The next thing you have to think about is, where do I find the prospect to put that lead magnet in front of their face? It's all fine and dandy to have a checklist or a book or a webinar or a seminar, but if nobody knows about it, it doesn't exist. Right? It doesn't exist. So here's some ideas for how we promote some of our lead magnets. Facebook ads. You can run an ad on Facebook. There are billions of people on Facebook. It's a great place to put ads. Who does Facebook ads right now? All right. Who has wanted to do Facebook ads, but you just haven't done it yet? Who thinks Facebook is the devil? Instagram ads. Okay, Facebook owns Instagram. It's the same ad platform. So if you're running Facebook ads, you can also run Instagram ads without learning anything else. Everyone makes fun of me because I'm a young guy and I don't even know how to run Instagram. I don't have a personal Instagram. Somebody told me last night, don't tell anybody that. I'm me. I don't like Instagram. I like Facebook. That's just me. But I do run ads every single day on Instagram as well. YouTube ads. You can run YouTube ads, direct mail letters, Google ads, Pinterest, TikTok. This came from a brainstorm. I have never ran anything on TikTok in my life. I know people that are very successful with getting leads from TikTok, okay? So just because one thing works for somebody doesn't mean that it's not going to work for you or vice versa. These are some ideas. So these are more of the immediate response ways, okay? So there's a lot of different ways to market your business. This is a list that you can utilize. Let's say we're talking about a webinar, my favorite subject. You can promote that registration. Hey, we have a webinar 101, Medicare 101 webinar coming up next week at Wednesday at 11 a.m., and you can put that message, register here in any of these platforms and run ads. It's the damnedest thing, you guys. You can pay people money to show your message in front of millions of people. When I don't know why it took me so long to figure that out, but once I did, I was like, that's pretty dang cool. I can literally just pay a set amount of money, this many people see it, this many people sign up, and this many people buy from me. Money is math. So go ahead and write that down. Very important. Money is math. If you figure out the math, you can find the money. I didn't say happiness is math. I didn't say happiness is math. I didn't say relationships is math. I said money is math. So if we're talking about money today, I'm going to tell you math is vital to that. My favorite subject in the world is relationships and personal development and all that. I'll save that subject for a different day. I do not have near as much math involved in that one. But today's all about math. So once you know your numbers and you start tracking this, you go, okay, this many people registered for my webinar. This many people actually showed up. Awesome. They watched me. They watched me on video. They know, like, and trust me. And this many people signed up for an appointment. And then I closed this many deals. How many times would you trade $1 for $4? A million times. My answer is as many times as the bank will let me. As many times as my bank account can allow for that. That's how you start to scale. So I want to take that concept and boil it down a little bit further into, okay, Josh, that sounds good, but really, exactly where do I put the money? Immediate response, if you're running webinars or seminars. I have a consulting client of mine that went out and they started running Facebook ads to fill up their in-person seminars. They had 3 or 4, I don't remember how many exact seminars, but it was a kind of a series of seminars. They were driving a couple hours to each spot, to each city. He filled up 180 reservations for his seminar. So between his 4 or 5 different locations, he had 180 people show up. And I haven't tracked the results with him since then of how many he turned into clients. It was a couple weeks ago. But using these concepts, again, it doesn't mean you only have to use this for webinars. He was using this for dinner seminars. You might use this for your book funnel, right? But here are the lead sources for immediate response. Where are you going to promote your asset? Where are you going to promote your lead magnets? Lead sources. Okay, the next one is more of a grassroots, more of an organic approach to things. There's a lot of people that are very good at this. Here's some ideas on how to grow your business using more of these grassroots methods. You're talking about Facebook groups with seniors in them. You're talking about local senior groups, local events, current clients of yours, getting relationships built to where they actually love your service and they want to refer you to their friends and their family and their neighbors and their classmates. Again, a question I love to ask is who in your, especially in these rural areas, right? A lot of people don't move away and they live there their whole lives. Now, maybe I'm from a town of 1,000 people. Maybe I'm the minority, probably are. I like to ask the question, who in your class is still around here that you know of? They're going through the same thing. They're the same freaking age. So I love to ask that question to current clients. Referral partners. I have several friends of mine in this business that have 30, 40, 50 clients a month coming strictly from their relationships with other professionals. This guy came and visited me the other day out in Idaho and spent the whole day with me. It was a grand time. And we were talking about this. He doesn't even know the gold mine he was sitting on. Clap if you think it'd be fun to have 40 clients a month where you didn't have to pay for them. Like, he didn't realize what he had built over the last 8 years, but he did the hard work. Just like everyone this morning was saying, do the work and the results will actually follow. So building these methods are great as well. And you can promote these marketing assets inside of these lead sources. So again, I want you to think about, let's say you have a webinar model set up. Let's say you have automated text messages, automated emails, you have the funnel set up, literally to where all somebody has to do is go to your one-page website, hit register now, and then the rest of it is automated, right? Think about where you can promote that. You can run ads to it like we just talked about on the previous slide. You can go to local senior groups and make a presentation, say, by the way, here's a business card with my webinar on it. You just got to go to this link. You can promote it to your current clients saying, hey, this is actually a great idea. I don't have any staff in the room. Usually I have an idea list and there's a staff member. I say, hey, new idea, write this down. We're going to use it. I don't actually promote my webinar to my current clients. From today forward, we're going to. Great idea. Here's the webinar. Please send this to your friends and family. That seems elementary, like, Josh, wouldn't have you started with that? Nope. I started with paid ads because I can scale that. Well, we have thousands of clients now in our organization. Why are we not sending them a link to our webinar to share with their friends? Who thinks that's probably a good idea? Who wants a webinar now? So this is the way you can promote those. The next one is long-term branding. Okay, there are people in this room that are more equipped to talk about this than I am. Long-term branding is all about getting your brand out to a certain demographic of people, let's say your local area, where they know you. They know you, they know you're trustworthy, you've been around forever. Who can think of somebody or some organization that they saw on TV last week that you've seen before, right? You've seen that person before, or you've seen that book floating around before. You've seen a magazine. I'm a big fan of Darren Hardy, Success Magazine. Anyway, there's a lot of branding that goes in. These are going to be slower to get your lead flow, okay? Your direct response are the fastest. You're not going to get as many the day you launch a TV commercial. You're not going to get as many leads that day as if you would have launched Facebook ads running directly to your webinar. These are going to be long-term assets, though, that are more expensive to get into, but are going to pay you over the long haul. You're building a business that stands the test of time. Another thing to add on to this, I thought I forgot it. I'm better than I thought. YouTube channel is at the bottom there. So you got billboards, signage, SEO, your search engine stuff, TV ads, radio ads, YouTube channel, anything that is going to be a branding play for the long term. So really, before I get into some weeds on the actual presentation, the idea here is to create an asset that works for you 24/7. So once you have the work put into it on the front end, all you have to do now is promote it. So for example, I'm using webinars as an example, but seminars are the same way. The only difference is you actually have to go give the seminar, right? The checklist is the same way. Building a machine, and I want you to actually think of almost like a wood chipper. I don't know why a wood chipper, but it's just in my brain. Think of a machine like a wood chipper. Once you have built that machine to take a log, let's call it a log, and turn it into wood chips, all you have to do now is walk to this end of the machine and put a log in it. And it does all the work and spits out the result that you wanted. That is the idea of what I would love to get you to. The online marketing stuff especially works that way. You get it set up, it brings the leads in, you have your automation set up to where it's automatically messaging them specifically at where they're at in your funnel, whether they attended your presentation, whether they've never seen you before. There's different, text messages, emails, etc. that are set up to warm them up, to where all you do is feed the machine spits out appointments, and then you and your sales team call the appointments and close the deals. So for me, that was the biggest revelation for us in moving from a model that was getting 3 and 4 clients a month to me personally producing 55, let's call it 50 on average. In 2020, my personal pen, we averaged 50 a month, just me, and then going to where we're hiring agents, and I haven't sold a policy personally in a little while now, and it's still cranking out policies. Now, wherever you're at in the process, some people don't even want to go and manage 29 agents. Actually, who wants to grow, and be honest with me, who wants to grow to 100 employees in this building? Let's just say employees in general, probably 40, 50 agents, maybe half. Okay, who does not have a desire to go to that level? Who has a desire to get to 7 figures with you and maybe an agent or 2? Okay, the majority of the room. So everybody has their own goal here. And I'm going completely off script, but this is very important to me. Everybody has what they want. I want you to write on your paper right now, what do I want? Everybody write that down. What do I want? With a big question mark. Circle it 5 times. If you can actually answer this question with a definitive answer, you have already won the battle. What I hate to see is people come to me, more often than not, it's not about how to grow their agency. They think it is. They think it's about growing our agency to the next level. What it really is about is, Josh, if they were honest, I'm dissatisfied. I thought I would have been further. I see everyone else further ahead of me. I'm struggling in this area with confidence because, for whatever reason, there's a hole in my life that I just can't fill. Not you personally, who has ever heard somebody speak and you go, they're talking to you, right, one-on-one, and you know what they're saying is not actually the real problem. You know it's deeper than that. Who's ever had a conversation with somebody that you realized what they thought was the problem isn't actually their problem? I want you to reverse engineer that in your own life for a second and think about, what do I actually want? Don't spend your whole life building a 100-person or 5 million-person organization and realize that you never even wanted that. Don't spend your whole life holding yourself back saying that I just want 5 people in my organization if you're the person that wants 5 million. But until you define exactly what you want on paper, you're going to have a really hard time being satisfied with your life. For me, it's been true. When I hit 100,000, when I got in the business at 19, I said, you know what? If I just work my butt off, I'll keep it PG. If I work my butt off for the next 11 years, when I am 30 years old, I will have $100,000 in renewal income. And I was like, that was the hugest I could think, right? And that's a great income. And if you're not there yet, it's a great income to hit. 2 years later, I did hit that, and I realized that I said something, and I keep saying this over and over. Every time I hit a new level, I say, I tell my wife, I kind of thought that would have felt better. I kind of thought that would have felt different. Somebody said it. Who has ever hit a goal in your life, financial or otherwise, and you just thought that experience would have been different? I talk to people that make, and there's lots of them in this room, that make $1 million a year or more. By anybody's standards, that's a lot of money. I mean, by anybody's standard, that's doing well. And most people I talk to at that level even say the same thing. Is making $1 million really that much more satisfying than making 100,000? It gives you more options. It gives you more options, but it won't just inherently make you happy. Hitting goals makes you happy. Write that down. Hitting goals makes you happy. It doesn't have to be financial. Know what you want and go after it with everything you've got. Once you hit that, feel the satisfaction. I have to force myself to celebrate. I'm the guy that's like, bam, we hit that goal, what's next? I got to stop myself. I have a new rule. My wife made it for me. 1 day of celebration. 1 day. Just 1 day before you go to the next thing and say, we're all in on this now. I'm the guy that's like, yeah, we made 100 grand. Okay, I'm going to spend 150 to double down on this new idea. She's like, don't do that. So celebrate your wins. Celebrate your wins. And just know what you want. That being said, who would like to learn how to make more money now that I just poo-pooed all over that? By no means, money is a great thing and it's a great tool. Let's go get more of it. Making money is easy. I want you to write that down. Making money is easy. Not everybody does it, though. It's simple in the fact that if you put one foot in front of the other and you do what's necessary to get to that next level, you will always be successful. But if you give up, making money is pretty freaking hard. It really is. Your belief around that is going to determine how fast you get it. Your belief about that subject is going to determine how fast you get it. If you believe losing weight is the hardest thing in the entire world, you'll never lose it. If you believe it's easy to eat healthy because it's just who you are, you'll lose weight fast. I've gained 20 pounds in the last 12 months. I'm not proud of that. I am taking the wrong decisions. I am telling myself daily that it's really, I'm stressed or whatever. Bullshit, that's bad. Tell yourself it's easy, and it's easy. I told myself it's easy to make money, and it's easy to make money. Here's an example for you to double down on something Justin Brock said this morning and Danielle. If you walked into my office and said, hey, Josh, I have a stadium full of people 5 minutes away, filled with 50,000 business owners. I know you're not prepared. It's 5 minutes away, but I'm going to drive you, if you agree, I'll just drive you over there right now. You can hop on stage and talk in front of 50,000 people. My immediate response would be, let's go. Right now. Let's get it done. Why is that? Because I have a belief that I will have something of value to give that audience and that I can do it. Different scenario. 5 minutes away, stadium, person walks in and says, hey, Josh, I will pay you $100,000 in cash today. You don't have to pay taxes on it, right? I will pay you $100,000 in cash today if I drive you to that same stadium with 50,000 people and you stand up in front of the room and you just dance for 5 minutes. Just dance. All you have to do is dance for 5 minutes in front of 50,000 people. I'll pay you 100 grand. My immediate response is you've got to be out of your damn mind. I would not take it. It's not worth it to me. Now, am I physically unable to move my feet? I can move my feet, right? Just like I can physically speak out loud in front of the people. The only difference was what I decided was easy. I just decided one day that I was going to be a public speaker. Just decided. And then guess what? The first time somebody invites you to speak, what do you say? Yes. Now, what if I wanted to be a professional dancer and, yeah, that's not going so well, right? Why? Every time I've been invited to dance since the 7th grade, I've said no. Now, I'm a little bit better now. That's not the best example because I did dance at my wedding and, now I'm a professional. The thing is, this mindset stuff is absolutely true. I just bought a restaurant and a bar in my local town. Don't ask me why. Everyone says, why would you do that? That was stupid. Well, I'm going to prove you wrong. That's my answer. I'm putting a big drive-through in with a big $100,000 billboard that flashes like drive-through food this way, right? Anyway, that's besides the point. The restaurant owner before me had a mindset. He said, Josh, it's impossible to get people to work that are good. They're going to steal from you. They're going to steal from you. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. You can't trust people. Nobody's going to be happy. So if you want it done right, you just got to do it right. Toxic, very toxic belief. Get that out of your head right now. If you want to do it, if you want it done right, find somebody that can do it done right. It doesn't have to be you. It could be. It doesn't have to be. Last night I got a text message from my manager. I ended up firing our first bartender, replacing them with 3 employees all in the same 3 days. Last night, 2 of those employees I haven't even met yet, and my manager texted me last night of the restaurant and said, Josh, I don't know what you did, but I've been here for 4.5 years. His dad is the previous owner, by the way. I don't know what you did, but somehow you found people that are awesome. Everybody here, this is how it's supposed to be. Everyone is in sync. We love our job. We're making more money and tips than we've ever had. And it's only the first week. And that gave me chills last night. Why? Not because it's like some huge win, guys. It's like $2,000 freaking dollars. It's not like I'm rich off a restaurant. Sell insurance. Sell insurance. But the cool thing about that was it cracked that previous owner's belief that he had instilled in his current staff. Now the staff says, he goes, I don't know, seems like it's easy for you to find people. What was the difference? Same restaurant, same demographic, same people in the area. The only difference was one guy had a belief that said, it's easy to find people. People love to work for me. I make it fun. And one guy said, nobody wants to work here. Nobody wants to, do a good job. You can't trust anybody. It's the same thing we're talking about with the dancing versus the speaking. So I want you to write on your paper right now, what do I believe about myself? What do I believe about myself? On the airplane ride home, I want you to actually answer these questions. What do I want? What do I believe about myself? And what do I believe about the world around me? What do I believe about the world around me? Do I believe it's hard to make money or easy? Do I believe that I'm a millionaire already or not? I believe that I'm a billionaire. The money just hasn't been put in my bank account yet. I believe that I was a millionaire before I was. I believe that I was a $100,000 earner at age 30. It turned out to be at 21, right? What do you believe about yourself? It'll come true. Be very careful. Now, I'm the worst dancer in the world because I keep telling this as an example story. I got to find something that I don't actually want to be good at, right? Okay, let's actually get into the meat and potatoes. How many minutes do I have left? Somebody give me a time sometime. Thanks. Give me a 10-minute warning so I can wrap it up. All right, today I want to talk about, that was all kind of off the cuff, sorry guys, but I want you to answer those questions, it's really important. Today I want to talk about who wants to learn how to be better on video or in an in-person presentation. Who wants to learn the skill of how to speak in front of people and actually get them to take action? I got 4 people here, 5 people, 6 people. All these guys are like, I'm going to go turbo tinkle, dude. All right, next. 10 rules of the perfect webinar video. Okay? I want this to be very detailed for you so you can go home and feel confident. Who has already done videos before? Okay? Who has never done a video before? And I was going to preface that, but I don't want to make it weird. Who has never done a video before? Okay. Who is going to do a video after this? Everybody raise your hand. Videos are important. It binds the client to you. It binds them to you. We want them to know, like, and trust us before you ever even talk to them. That is what we want. 10 rules of the perfect webinar video or in-person seminar for that matter. Number 1, it won't be perfect, so get over yourself. It won't be. Rule number 1 of the perfect webinar is it's not going to be perfect. I remember one time, and some of you heard me tell this story, but my first webinar I ever shot, first of all, it was awful. I looked like I was 14. Thank you, 20 pounds. I look like I'm now at least 20, right? I looked like I was 14. I was kind of scared to do it, and I was mortified my first take because my voice started going out kind of like it is right now. I don't know which cup is mine, so hopefully this is right. I was mortified because my voice started going out because I was talking too long, about 30 minutes with no water. Took a drink of water, and I remember stopping the video and restarting because I took a drink of water. How stupid is that? How in my head is that? I took a drink of water, so it's not perfect, so everyone's going to hate me, no one's going to sign up for this, and I'm going to be a loser the rest of my life and have no money. Like, what? Why do we immediately go there? So it turns out that awful video got over 500 clients for me. 500 turning 65 age-ins off of that bad video, right? And I tell you that for a very specific reason. Just do it. Sometimes I almost think it works better than being so polished. Now I actually schedule 3 spots in every webinar that I purposely drink water. Why? because humans drink water, robots don't. People like seeing you actually be a human. They actually like that. Nobody really wants to do business with a robot. And the more approachable you can be, the more real human you can be, the better you're going to resonate with your clients. They want a real human to take care of them. So it won't be perfect, so just go ahead and roll with it. If the phone rings, you can just comment on it. The next time I got a little smarter, and the phone rang in the middle, and it was like really, really loud, and I couldn't really, not address it in this video, but I was like 40 minutes in, and I'm like, sucker, I'm not doing this again. So is what it is. And so all I told the audience was the camera, I just said, hey, phone's ringing off the hook, you better hurry. And people often comment on that as well. Number 2, always, always, always have you in the video. That sounds awfully like no duh, right? How many times have I seen a webinar with just a slide deck with no person in it, just a voiceover? Don't do that. It's going to be tempting for you, especially if you're somebody that's never been on camera or nervous about that. It really does you no good. You can convert sales, but the whole point is to what? To bind them to what? Me. Exactly. You guys are so smart. To bind them to me. So if I'm not in the video, how do I bind them? I'm not. I'm binding them to an empty slide deck. I'm a nobody. I'm just another internet guy. But when I'm in it, in the corner is the best. You have a slide deck like this, and you're going to have in the corner your little circle or your little square with you in it, much like Zoom. Number 3, look directly into the lens of the camera. Look directly into the little black lens on your camera. It's a huge difference. On Zoom, it's a huge difference as well. There's a big difference between if I'm talking to Grace and I'm talking like this. How much do you think Grace is really getting out of this conversation right now? Grace, it's so nice to meet you. I'm so happy you're here, Grace. Like, how connected was I to you? Like 0, right? 0. But if you're actually looking at them like a human, you're looking at them in their eyes, and you say, Grace, I always love having you here. I love giving you a hug at every event we go to, and that's actually the truth. I'm not going to cry. I'm a crier. It's a different connection. It works the same way on video. If you're looking at your slide deck the whole time, they won't resonate with you. But if you're looking directly into the lens, it looks like you're looking into their soul, not to be creepy. Right? Who here has heard of Zig Ziglar? Yeah, that's right. Give Zig a big clap, even though he's not around. Huge influence on my life. I was a farm kid hauling manure. There's a different term we use on the farm for that, but I'll be all PC today. Hauling manure with a tractor my entire high school. I remember one day it was a 15-hour day, which is not uncommon on the farm. Thank you, Dad, and the work ethic. That's actually a real thank you, half sarcastic. But I'm sitting there and I'm listening to him on repeat. And Zig always said, the eyes are the window to the soul. However he says that, right? He's so cool. The eyes are the window to the soul. And that's exactly right. When you're talking to someone in person or on camera, look them in the eye. That's a big connector. Number 4, smile, because you're on camera. It's so true. It's actually the thing that I think I don't do enough when I present. Like today, I think I'm smiling the whole day. I'll go back and look at the video, and I'm like, dude, you seem so happy in your head. You seem a little sarcastic in person. Like, what's up? Why don't you smile, right? You need to smile so much more than you think you are in life in general, but especially on video. You need to have a half smile the whole time you're talking on video. I go back and look at that first one, and I'm just like shaking my head. I'm like, why did anybody sign up for this? Like, why did they? You look like you're 15 and scared, and you never smiled once. Smile more. I promise it'll change the results you get inside of your actual presentations. 5, I already kind of mentioned this earlier, but what is actually important for the clients to learn today? Not what I want to teach. One time I said, before I did a webinar, I sat through another agent's webinar. Yeah, I'm sure many of you have been through mine. I get it. And it was like an hour and 50-some minutes long. I'm sitting there, and the drug plan section is like 28 minutes or what. It was a long time. And I'm looking at the numbers just falling off, falling off, falling off. Everyone is falling off because nobody wants to listen to it for that long. They just don't. What that guy got wrong, no names mentioned obviously, but that guy got wrong is he didn't realize that the clients really didn't care about every single detail. They didn't need to know inside of the webinar or the seminar the exact dollar amount of the 1% penalty on Part D if you don't get it, and it's going to be this much. So here's 17 examples about how it's going to work for you if you don't get a drug plan. Dude, I just said you need a drug plan and get penalized. If you want to know what the penalty is in our one-on-one conversation, I'll tell you. Now, you can go into a little bit of detail on that, but remember, you're still going to get them on the phone and educate them. So in your presentations, you don't need to worry so much about covering every last detail. Actually, that'll hurt you. It'll hurt you a lot. So again, like if I'm explaining Medicare supplements, I'm not going to go into every single plan. FGN, baby. Everything else, I don't recommend, but I will absolutely talk to you about all of them in our one-on-one phone call if you want to learn more. Here's why I say that, and then I go into it. Clear, succinct, simple, right? Write down KISS. Speaking of branding, everyone knows what that is. I don't have to say it, right? What is actually important for them to learn? Number 6, you need to be more than an expert. You need to be the absolute authority. The authority. What's the difference? Like in authority, you just do what they say. Actually, write this down. Boldness is always rewarded. Boldness is always rewarded. Raise your hand if you just wrote that down. 80% of the room, 85%. Why? Because I told you to. Right? Why? Because I told you to, and I'm in the front of the room, and right now you're currently not in front of the room. When I'm in a doctor office, I'm sitting in the not expert chair, and he's sitting in the big boy, I'm the expert chair. So when he says do this, most people say, okay, right? It's the way we've been designed. We've been brought up as children to listen to authorities. We are authorities in the Medicare field. Thank you, Tony. We are authorities in the Medicare field, and so act like it. Doesn't mean be condescending. It has nothing to do with that. It just means speak plainly. I have a broker friend of mine who, he's actually my biggest competitor, but we've become friends recently. Hint, hint, I hope I can buy him out, right? But he has mentioned to me several times that, in my old age, Josh, I have just gotten really bold with my clients. He's not old, he's 65 for crying out loud, but he talks like it. He says, look, I feel like now I just tell people what to do, and they do it. And they respect me because I just tell them what to do. He says, don't get that plan. If I were you, I'd get that plan instead of sugarcoating it. And you know what? People like it. And he is making more money than ever, and he is signing up people left and right because why? He is the authority. Exactly. So be bold. Authorities do not ask, we tell. In a nice way. In a nice way. Not, hey, if you enjoyed my presentation today and you really like what we have to offer here at Camas Prairie Insurance, then you could probably go sign up for an appointment and click the button on the screen, and there's tons of spots available because we're always here to help you. So go ahead and click the button and sign up. What? Nobody wants to do that. Why? It's a weak sauce. But if I say, when you schedule your appointment, this is what you're going to get. And you better do it right now because there's only 35 time slots, which is true. And there's hundreds of people on this webinar today. So click the link right now because I see tons of other people are doing that right now, and I want to talk to you. So click the link on your screen, the gold telephone that just popped up. Go schedule your appointment with our team, and we'll take care of you for life. Why does that seem so hard to do, right? It's not. But most people are like, what do you mean take care of them for life? Are you entering into a verbal contract that you're going to take care of them for the rest of your life? Did I say that? No, I just said, is my organization going to be around for the rest of their life? Yeah, it is, so I can take care of them. Go sign up. Like, that is being a little bit more bold than I ever was taught to be. I had to learn that. I'm just timid, nice guy. Tony met me when I was timid, nice guy. Now I actually make money because I'm bold. There's a correlation there. 7, use future pacing often. Will you give me a 2 minutes in a minute? Use future pacing often. Future pacing is getting the client to believe that they already own what you're selling. That's a psychology term. Getting them to already believe that they own what you're selling. Getting them to already believe that they're a client of yours. For example, when you go, let's say you want to buy a new car. You go up to the dealership, you find two cars that you really like, not exactly sure, one's $20,000 more, not really sure which one you're going to choose. What's the first thing that salesperson is probably going to invite you to do? Test drive it. Now, why would he want you to test drive it? Because you feel like you already own it when you drive it. Who drives your car? You do, the owner. The real estate agent walks up to the house, and before entering the house, he hands you the keys and says, hey, you open the door. Why? Because the owner of the house is the one that has the keys. And you putting the keys in, you're already imagining every day when I get home from work, turning the key, walking into my beautiful home. Walking my beautiful home with my beautiful wife and my beautiful kids. Sorry, I've been thinking about them a lot, so anyway, I don't want to get lost in my own thoughts. Future pacing is getting them to believe they already signed up for the appointment. So in my webinar, I constantly am saying not if, but when. So I know we just kind of breezed through the prescription drug plans today, but remember, in your one-on-one phone call at the end of this presentation with one of our experts, we're going to go into your specifics. We're going to go into your, when you get your appointment, you're going to get these 2 bonus items from my office. When you have a billing question in the future, we're going to take care of you, and this is what it feels like. We have lifetime claims and billing services. One time, one of my agents, Robert, walked to my office and said, hey, Josh, I was competing against Boomer Benefits today, which we all know, right? I wish Danielle was here to hear it. We're competing against Boomer Benefits today, and I lost. And I said, why the heck did you lose to Boomer Benefits today? And he said, well, the client said, all things being equal, Robert, I love you guys, I love Boomer Benefits, but they offer lifetime claim service. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, I lost because we don't have lifetime claim service. I said, Robert, what the hell do you think we do here? Like, we offer lifetime claim service. Now, it wasn't Robert's fault. Robert was a stud. He still is. I hope he sees this. It was my fault. I was out-marketed that day by a person named Danielle Roberts. She figured out that labeling it, something we already do, made it sexy. Right? So now guess what? I have lifetime claims and billing services that we offer to all of our clients. And this is how it feels, Susie. This is how it feels when you have our service. Imagine right now, you have a doctor bill that comes in at $7,000 and you thought you're going to get a $233 bill. It's $7,000. You just walk that bill into my office, or you call us, you tell Krista at my front desk, hey, Chris, I have this bill. Krista says, no problem, Susie. She calls the doctor office, calls the insurance company, gets everything squared away, and an hour later calls you back, Susie, and says, hey, Susie, it's Krista. Everything's taken care of. Just throw it in the trash. Now, Susie, imagine how that just made you feel. Pretty good, right? That's the level of service that we provide that you now have. I tell them that story, that type of story, in the webinar before I ever even talk to them. Now that you're a client of ours, you have this. How bold is that? Who thinks that's maybe a little bit bold? To say to somebody that's never met you in a webinar presentation, now that you're my client, here's how it's going to work. It works. I got to go fast. Take a picture of this if you want. These are ideas to future pace inside of your presentation. These are places that I future pace the audience inside of our presentations. Okay, I'll go fast. I was not told that. I didn't say I was going to give the slides. No. Jeez, Tony. I was going to sell the slides for $25. Number 8, I got to hustle. Thanks, Eric. Number 8, be 100% genuine and show them you. Be genuine. Show them who you are. You know what? I know that I probably lose people and there's a certain percentage of people in this room that might hate me for what I'm about to say. And I do it every single time, and I don't really care anymore. Sorry. People that love me are going to love me. People that hate me are going to hate me no matter what I do. Me being fake isn't going to get me more good friends. It's going to get me people that think that I'm something that I'm not, so they're friends with me. So I say in my presentations, you know what? I am who I am. I'm a country boy. I like whiskey, guns, Jesus. I'm a conservative. That's just who I am. And I love my wife and my beautiful kids, and that's just my whole world. And if you hate me or don't even want to be around me because those are my values, then so be it. We're probably not going to jive. I don't think that if you're the opposite, political belief of me, I don't hate you. But if you're going to hate me, then I guess we're not going to be friends. Like, it's a two-way street. I'll give you a shot because I love people. I don't care what they believe. I just love people. But there's a lot of people out there that don't believe what I believe. And they're like, hey, dude, if we're on the opposite side of any issue, we hate each other. Well, those are not the people I want. My job, and write this down, my job is to attract the right people and repel everybody else. My job is to attract the right people into my life and repel everybody else. Number 9, close with urgency and scarcity. Why would they do it now instead of later? That's the crux. You can just write that down if you want. Urgency or scarcity, same thing. Why do it now instead of later? I tell you why you should go to my conference Thrive in June because I'm giving you half off right now, just off the cuff. That's why you should do it now, right? Why should you do it now instead of later? There's only 35 appointments on my Medicare calendar. Do it now. Number 10, remember, what is the goal of the webinar? What are you actually trying to accomplish? Get appointments. Get them on the phone. One time somebody called my office. My guy Ray at the time came in and he said, hey Josh, I had someone call the office and said they want to get on your webinar. They saw it on TV, but they don't know how to register. And I said, oh yeah, just send them a link in the email. Ridiculous. The whole goal of the webinar is to get them on the phone with my office. So I got her off the phone, sent her an email, probably never to hear from her again. The webinar is just a tool to get them on the phone. But I got so in the weeds in my own head that I thought the goal was to get people to the webinar. That's not true. Remember what the goal is: to actually talk to people on the phone, to love the phone, to pick up the phone, to talk to people, and to close deals. Everybody wins. You help the client, you help yourself, everybody wins. So anyway, that is my time for today. I would love to invite you. Come to Thrive in June if you want to learn more about this stuff. I'd love to see you guys there. Christian, thank you so much, you and your team. Please give Christian and Stormy and their team a big round of applause.
Thank you. As always. Just curious, show your hand if that's the first time you've ever had a chance to hear Josh Lustig speak. Did I lie when I said you'd be impressed? Big round of applause for him, please.